I lost my voice at the game, so that's why I sound like this. I thought I was on the field willing the team.
You have a broadcast voice now.
Yeah, yeah. I wish I sounded like you, Curtis. Okay, yeah. Good morning. This Friday marks the last working day for Police Chief Elliot Isaac. Chief Isaac has been a dedicated servant to the residents of Cincinnati, and we as a city are grateful for his years of leadership. Finding the right person to succeed Chief Isaac is a cornerstone in our broader mission, and since day one, he has been a valued partner in ensuring a smooth transition. Please, let's give a round of applause to Police Chief Elliot Isaac. In order to truly invest in public safety for everyone, to ensure that all 52 of our neighborhoods are safe, which is of course a priority, we need a leader who is fully committed to taking our CPD, which is already an exceptional organization, and taking it to new heights. We need a law enforcement professional who is committed to being of the community, who will lean into the data and listen to the input of stakeholders in order to make police community relations and the safety of all neighborhoods their top focus. We need someone who will work to understand the challenges that our residents, we need someone who will work to understand the challenges that our residents, and disproportionately our Black and brown residents, have faced, and who will lead with openness and innovation to help move us forward. I'd like to thank Interim City Manager for keeping these principles front and center during the decisions he's made in this transition. His transparency and his emphasis on community engagement will not only help find the best person for the job, but it will ensure that everyone has a seat at the table for a decision that impacts all of our communities. Our National Police Search will put our guiding values first: an open and accountable process, a commitment to strong police and community trust, and a prioritization of racial equity. I have the utmost confidence that by keeping our core mission at the center of this process, we will find the best possible person for this crucial role and for the community that they will represent. Thank you, and I'd now like to pass it over to Interim City Manager John Kerr.
Thank you. And before I start, I want to recognize those who have joined us from the Police Department and City Council. Chair of the Public Safety Committee, Councilman Scotty Johnson, Lieutenant Colonel Lisa Davis, Lieutenant Colonel Mike John, Lieutenant Colonel Teresa Thigi, and of course Chief Isaac. As you're aware, after 33 years, Chief Isaac's last day is Friday. He has had a long and distinguished career with the City of Cincinnati, and we thank him for his service. Several weeks ago, in anticipation of his retirement, I began the process to conduct a national search for the next leader of the Cincinnati Police Department. The city issued a request for proposals to engage an executive search firm with public safety recruitment experience to assist in our search for this critical position. 2 respondents have been shortlisted: Ralph Anderson Associates and CPS HR Consulting. Their interviews have started, and we expect a final selection by March 1st. The process will include an extensive period of community engagement to determine the qualification and characteristics that Cincinnatians want to see in our next chief. We'll be seeking input from citizens, neighborhood organizations, the business community, police rank and file, the FOP, as well as other stakeholders in our region. I've asked Chief Isaac post-retirement to participate in the process, and he's agreed. His consultation will be invaluable. After we develop our qualifications, we'll request applications and pursue candidates nationwide. We will also encourage our homegrown talent to apply. I anticipate consulting the committee of community members that will assist me and our outside experts in vetting applicants and producing a short list of candidates that will be subject to interviews. 2 to 3 finalists will come to Cincinnati for in-person interviews, including an opportunity for members of the public to ask questions in a town hall format. The city manager will make the final decision. I fully anticipate this process will produce candidates that the entire city can stand behind as the new police chief. As I mentioned previously, we'll encourage participation from internal candidates and experienced law enforcement leaders from around the country. We have great leadership inside the Cincinnati Police Department, and I encourage them to apply. To be clear, we start this process with no preference for internal or external candidates. Our process will follow this tentative timeline. Our vendor selection will be hopefully complete by March 1st. We expect an engagement plan around March 15th. Our community engagement process will last from March approximately through May. We will do a national recruitment of candidates into June, a round of interviews in July and August, and then finalist interviews and public sessions in July and early August. These dates are tentative because the quality of the process is more important than the timing. I fully expect this process will produce the best leader for the police department as a part of the city leadership team. While we are engaged in this search, I have asked Lieutenant Colonel Teresa Thigi to serve as interim chief. Colonel Thigi is presently the executive assistant chief with over 31 years of experience with Cincinnati PD. I believe she's fully capable of providing continuity and leadership and maintaining the high standards of excellence that we expect from our police. Her leadership will serve us well through this process. Next, I'm going to hand it over to Chief Isaac, and then I think Colonel Thigi will say a few words, and then we'll answer questions.
Thank you, Mr. Kerp. Mayor, thank you both for your support. As the city manager mentioned, we have very talented, homegrown people. I just wanted to take this opportunity to express my confidence in this command staff, congratulate Lieutenant Colonel Thigi being the interim chief while the selection process moves forward. I want the citizens of Cincinnati to rest that they are well in hand, that the principles and the work that we've done will continue in the interim and will continue in the future. I'm fully proud of this agency. I'm fully proud of the ability of this staff, as we've mentioned, and I congratulate Colonel Thigi. She's going to do a tremendous job. So we'll ask her to come on up.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for being here today. Thank you to Mayor Purival and Interim City Manager, Mr. Kerp, for having the confidence in me to allow me to step into this role of Interim Police Chief. I am truly honored. What an exciting time for our great city. We have a new mayor with new ideas, a new interim city manager to lead our city government, and many new and returning council members to help us bring it all together. I've been extremely fortunate to work under the guidance of Chief Isaac as an assistant chief for the last 6 years. His leadership has been unwavering, and I will strive to fill the void when he leaves. You will be missed. To the men and women, sworn and civilian, of the police department, I am in awe of what you do each day and how you embrace your role as public servants for this great city. I look forward to working with you and to ensure a smooth transition. To the citizens of Cincinnati who live, work, and play here, I am committed to ensuring your safety and to be as inclusive as possible in how we police this city. We will always strive to be a model agency for others to follow. Additionally, I am committing to our participation in the collaborative agreement I think it's an excellent working document that has served us well for many years, and I look forward to how it can help us in the years to come. So thank you very much.
Are there any questions?
Yeah. Gigi, can you tell me how your family's reacted to all this? I know that you have like all law enforcement in your family.
Yeah, so I'm from a family, law enforcement is extremely important to us, many generations. Actually, I think a lot of my family and friends are hopefully watching now because this is the first they're hearing about it. So other than my husband, who I told last night, but my kids and my siblings are hearing about it for the first time right now. So it's very important to them. We are Cincinnati born and raised family. And like I said, the safety of this city has always been extremely important to us. And I hope to continue that.
Chief, can you encapsulate just all your years on the force, how difficult the decision was or how easy it was, and where do you go from here? We going fishing, we going golfing?
Maybe a little bit of both. 33 years. What an amazing journey. Sometimes you're just left in awe of a career like this. 33 years is a long time. And I believe it's time for others to have the opportunity to lead this organization. By no means am I done. I love this city. I'll be back in some capacity somewhere, and my support will always be there. As the manager mentioned, I will certainly assist in any way I can in the selection of the next police chief, and I certainly will be an advocate for this agency and an advocate for our community at large.
But you're not going to do consulting, you're not going to do full-time anymore, right?
We'll see what happens. Right now, we're going to take a break. I'm going to spend some time with my family. My wife has a long honey-do list for me, and we're going to take a break.
How long is that list after 30?
It's quite long.
For our interim chief, I know it's just being announced, it's just going to be Friday. Sorry, we'll start this. I'm wondering if you thought beyond that. Is this something you would want to pursue a permanent role and apply for moving forward?
So I think one thing that law enforcement has taught me over 30 years is you take it one day at a time. My concentration right now will be leading this agency during the interim process and assisting the city manager in any way that I can in the search or whatever may come my way. But never say never. So we'll see what the future brings. Thank you. So it is very, very heartfelt. Some of my comments when I got sworn in as the executive assistant chief, and I was the first female for that, was recognizing that city leaders recognize there's no glass ceiling at City Hall. So I applaud them for that. And I look forward to being the first female and showing that I can do it just as well as a male counterpart can do it. But I also look forward to the day when race or gender is not part of the conversation, but rather who's the quality candidate for the job.
Are you pushing to be the chief?
I'm sorry?
Will you put your hat in the ring for this position?
Like I said, one day at a time in law enforcement. Got a lot to do over the next few months.
I know this is putting the cart before the horse, but have you thought about some of the things that you will focus on over the next, at least over the next few months?
Absolutely. I'll have additional conversations with Chief Isaac as well as Mr. Kerp. One of the things, as you know, we're approaching springtime weather. That oftentimes data shows us brings us an uptick in violent crime. So I'll be working with my counterparts to figure out a plan to how to make sure that the city is safe as possible through the spring and summer months and beyond.
And you touched on your relationship with the chief, but talk about that relationship and how it has helped you and how you helped him.
Sure, absolutely. So the chief and I go way back. When I was a new officer in District 1, he was already in District 1. There are some stories I can tell and some that I better not reveal. But I've always had a very open and honest relationship with Chief Isaac. We've had discussions that I felt very strongly about, and he had always offered me an opportunity to voice my opinion. And then we work it out at the end. We figure out what's best for the department, what's best for the city.
Mr. Kerr, can you talk about how the timeline for choosing the new police chief and choosing the new city manager might overlap because the city manager will make the final
Well, I personally am not involved in the city manager search process, although I've been consulting with the mayor on how this will interact with that. I fully expect that the city manager process will play out before the final selection of the chief. And we're going to conduct this process as though any person could step into this role if it's not me, and be confident of the process and the options in front of them, and make the best decision for the city.
If I could just follow up on that. We'll be announcing the city manager search parameters in detail in the coming days. But I wanted to reiterate that it is our goal that both of these processes run on parallel tracks. In fact, both of these national searches were started the day I got into office. Our goal is for the city manager search to conclude prior to the police chief search, so that the new city manager can have a say, because it's ultimately the city manager's decision who the next police chief is.
For the mayor or city manager, I'm just wondering, in this search, obviously it's a national search, but how important is it to have somebody that understands our police department? Because I think we have a unique police department with so much history of the collaborative agreement, the consent decrees. I mean, how important is it that somebody understands that when taking the
It's critically important, which is why we have placed such an emphasis on community engagement. Community engagement is a priority at every step of this search, culminating in literally town halls between the finalists and the community, to ensure that the finalists understand the unique aspect of Cincinnati. Look, we are the national model for police community relations because of the collaborative agreement. We're the national model because of our exceptional Cincinnati Police Department, who do a very difficult job under very difficult circumstances. It's going to be critically important for those finalists and ultimately the chief to understand that. But again, this is the city manager's decision, so that's just my opinion.
Well, and I obviously agree with that, and I think that's going to be an emphasis during the process, is their experience in collaborative environments. They exist in other parts of the country, in other cities. That's certainly going to be an important qualification that I'm certain will come out of this process.
The ranks of assistant chief have now gotten even a little smaller with our new interim. Will there be an opportunity during this interim period to fill those ranks? I know it was as large as 5, and now it will be 2.
Well,
Who would address that? But
sure, I certainly will be meeting with the command staff here, and we've already discussed the need to bring others up to fill important positions within the department, and I'm sure that under Colonel Thege's leadership, we will make the appropriate adjustments and appointments to keep the department running smoothly.
With yesterday's announcement of Iris Lilly acting as a consultant in police community relations, that it did include consulting on the hiring of a new police chief. Can you talk a little bit about how she will be involved in this national search?
Well, as I mentioned before, I intend to engage the community. I think we'll have community leaders involved, especially in developing the qualifications and the initial round of vetting of applications. I expect she will be part of that and advising us on that process. And her role is to advance the collaborative agreement under the refresh that was adopted several years ago, and to assist in this process. So she is uniquely positioned in this city to advance community engagement amongst our entire community, and I see her filling that role in this process.
I just have one more question. Mr. Mayor, just talk about, we don't live in the political hotbed as other major cities do.
We don't?
There is division, of course. Can you just talk about, just over the last 6 weeks with the Bengals, and has that brought this city together, do you believe?
Without question. Look, after the 2 years that we've had with this pandemic and the economic downturn, this Bengals team, with their historic run, with their joy, with their swagger, their confidence, has us believing again, has us optimistic and hopeful for the future. And I've said it a couple times now, but there are some fans that say this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. I just respectfully disagree. Cincinnati isn't just happy to be on the national stage. We belong here, and we're going to be here for a very long time. And I've taken every opportunity I can we have as city leaders with the national and international spotlight being shown on our city to brag about our city. We have reason to be confident. We have reason to be proud of Cincinnati. You know, we've got incredible institutions here, GE Aviation, Procter & Gamble, but it's more than that. We've got the third best children's hospital in the world. We've got the best high school in the state. We are the world capital of sport with the Cincinnati Bearcats going to the playoff, Cincinnati Bengals going to the Super Bowl. We're a finalist to host a World Cup game. We do big things here in Cincinnati. We're making noise, and I'm so glad that the world is starting to recognize that.
Just wanted to clarify on the timeline. I know you mentioned days, and it sounded like July, but did you give an exact date for the goal to actually have something hired?
Again, I didn't give an exact date, I think intentionally, because again, the community engagement element of this is crucial. And so we're not going to rush that part of the process to meet an artificial deadline. But I would expect by the end of July, early August, we will be in the position to make a decision.
Does council have any say in this, or is it just the city manager makes a decision and the appointment is made?
Yeah, pursuant to the charter, this is the city manager's decision. I fully intend to be collaborative with the mayor and the council and the community, quite frankly. So, you know, council's voice will be important in this process, that we certainly will engage them to determine, you know, their view of what the quality and characteristics are. We have a chair of the Public Safety Committee who's a, you know, former police officer. His knowledge and advice in this process will be valued, as well as all the other council members.
Speaking of community engagement, we hear that often, and sometimes we see that their input doesn't matter very much in the ultimate final decision. What impact will the community's kind of feeling have in this decision, and how will you let them know that they have impacted the decision? Or are they just there to listen?
Well, it's not a cliche for this administration. It genuinely means we're gonna go out and reach people, and we're gonna try to measure results as to, you know, how many people we touch, how many communities we reach out to, and quite frankly, do we reach the people that aren't normally heard in these types of processes. So it's going to be thorough, it's going to be complete. It's a point of emphasis in our interviews with our consultants is what is their experience and the ability to do outreach within the city.
You mentioned the Bengals earlier. You know, there's a rally tonight, and how is that security-wise going to be handled with this changeover going? And how are big events being handled now with the changeover kind of in process? Either.
Your first big question.
Sure. So, you know, the police department is oftentimes at the table planning for large-scale events. This is no different. The change from Chief Isaac to myself will not even be a blip on the radar for the efforts that are going to be rolled out tonight. You know, what a great opportunity for the people in the community to even have this event tonight, because the Bengals made it to the Super Bowl. Win or lose, they made it to the Super Bowl. So, yeah, the officers won't even notice the change just yet.
We have time for one more question.
All right.